There comes a point in every chosen one's journey when they realize they are not like everyone else. At first, they try to fit in. They try to hold on to relationships. They try to stay connected to the world around them. But over time, people start disappearing. Friendships fade. Relationships become distant. And suddenly, they find themselves alone. But here's the truth. This isolation is not a punishment. It is preparation. It is happening for a reason. Because when God chooses someone for a higher calling, He separates them from the crowd. And today we're going to break down why chosen ones are set apart and why this season of solitude is actually your greatest blessing. Reason number 1. Your energy intimidates most people. The moment a chosen one enters a room, people can feel it. Your presence is different. Your energy is powerful. Your spirit carries something unique. And while some people are drawn to your light, others feel uncomfortable around you. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your energy exposes their insecurities. 1.1 Why most people can't handle your energy. Here's what happens when a chosen one is around low vibrational people. They start feeling uneasy without knowing why. They sense that you see through them. They feel their own shortcomings being highlighted. And instead of appreciating your presence, they distance themselves. They avoid deep connections. They push you away. Because deep down, they know you are different. They know you operate on a higher level. And they are not ready to grow to meet you. And that is why chosen ones often walk alone. Reason number 2. Your standards are too high for most people. Before, you may have been surrounded by people who settled for less in life, made excuses instead of taking action, lived in drama and negativity. But as a chosen one, you see life differently. You expect more from yourself. You refuse to lower your standards. And because of this, you naturally outgrow people who refuse to evolve. 2.1 The truth about outgrowing people. Most people want to stay the same. They want to stay comfortable. They want to avoid change. But chosen ones, they are constantly growing. They are constantly learning. They are constantly elevating. And as you elevate, you will lose people who were never meant to grow with you. Not because you've changed for the worse, but because you have changed for the better. And if someone cannot meet you at your new level, they will fall away. And that is why you are alone. Because few people are willing to grow at the pace you are. Reason number 3. Your spiritual awakening makes you see through the illusion. The world around you is filled with superficial relationships, people wearing masks, fake friendships built on convenience. But as a chosen one, you see through all of it. You sense when people are being fake. You recognize when someone's energy is not pure. And because of this, you refuse to entertain shallow connections. 3.1 Why fake friendships no longer work for you. Before, you may have ignored red flags. Before, you may have tolerated surface-level conversations. Before, you may have stayed in friendships out of habit. But now, you crave depth. You crave authenticity. You crave real, meaningful connections. And because most people are not ready for that level of depth, you find yourself alone. But here's the truth. Being alone is better than being surrounded by the wrong people. And as painful as this isolation may feel, it is making room for the right connections in your future. Reason number 4. You no longer or negative energy. Before, you may have been surrounded by people who always complained, people who lived in drama, people who drained your energy instead of uplifting you. But now, you protect your peace. You have learned that not everyone deserves access to your energy. Some people only keep you around for what they can take from you. Being selective with your energy is an act of self-respect. And because of this, many people can no longer reach you. 4.1 How negative people react when you set boundaries. Most people are used to having unlimited access to you, dumping their problems on you, keeping you stuck in toxic cycles. But when a chosen one starts protecting their energy, people who benefited from your lack of boundaries will get upset. You will notice. Some people will try to guilt trip you. Some people will call you cold or selfish. Some people will disappear completely. And that is how you know they were never truly for you. Because real connections respect your peace. And if someone only values you when they can drain you, they were never your friend to begin with. Reason number 5. You think de or inti loy, then the avh Most people live on autopilot. They accept what they are told without questioning, follow the crowd instead of thinking for themselves, seek validation from others instead of trusting their own path. But chosen ones, they question everything. They think deeply about life, purpose, and truth. They refuse to follow blindly. And because of this, they do not fit into the mainstream mindset. 5.1 Why thinking differently makes you isolated. The truth is, most people want to be comfortable. Most people want to avoid deep thinking. Most people want to stay where it's familiar. But a chosen one, they are called to evolve. So when you start asking deeper questions, challenging the way things have always been, pursuing knowledge that most people ignore, you will lose people. Not because you are wrong, but because they are not ready to see what you see. And that is why many chosen ones walk alone. Because they are on a path that few are willing to take. Reason number 6. You havebncaled to a higher purpose. There is a reason you do not fit in. There is a reason your journey looks different. There is a reason you keep getting separated from the crowd. Because you have been called to a higher purpose. And when God calls someone for something greater, He removes distractions. He removes unnecessary relationships. He removes anything that will keep them from their destiny. 6.1 How isolation is part of the preparation. Before stepping into their purpose, chosen ones often go through a season of solitude where they lose connections that no longer align with them. They feel misunderstood or overlooked. They are tested in ways that others are not. At first, this feels like a punishment. At first, it feels like something is wrong. At first, it feels like they are being left behind. But in reality, they are being prepared. And once they understand this, they stop fighting the isolation and start embracing it. Because this season is shaping them into the person they are meant to become. Reason number 7. You operate on a higher frequency. Most people live in the physical world, consumed by material possessions, superficial relationships, instant gratification. But as a chosen one, you are connected to something deeper. You see beyond surface-level distractions. You operate on a different frequency. And because of this, people who are still caught up in the world struggle to relate to you. 7.1 Why most people can't match your energy. When you elevate, you will notice that small talk no longer excites you. Shallow relationships no longer interest you. Surface-level connections no longer fulfill you. Because your spirit craves depth, wisdom, and truth. And most people, they are not ready for that level of connection. They are not ready to have real conversations. They are not ready to face their own spiritual awakening. So instead of growing with you, they distance themselves. And that is why chosen ones often feel disconnected from the world around them. Because they are living in a reality that most people cannot comprehend. Reason number 8. Your pavate or EQUIREs, you two stand apart. God has a specific mission for you. And because of that, you are not meant to follow the crowd, blend in with society, be easily understood by everyone. You are meant to stand apart. And sometimes, standing apart means walking alone. 8.1 Why isolation is necessary for chosen ones. Every great leader in history experienced isolation before their breakthrough. Moses, he spent years in the wilderness before leading his people. Jesus, he often withdrew to pray alone before performing miracles. Prophets, they were often rejected, misunderstood, and cast out from society. And you, your journey is no different. Because before stepping into your purpose, you must first learn to stand on your own. That is why relationships are being removed. That is why you feel distant from the world. That is why this season of solitude is happening. Because it is shaping you into who you were meant to be. Reason number 9. Your love cannot to be given to just anyone. The world teaches people to chase relationships out of loneliness, settle for whoever shows them attention, ignore red flags just to feel wanted. But a chosen one, they do not give their heart away easily. They understand that love is not about attachment, it is about alignment. Not everyone is meant to have access to their energy. The wrong relationship can pull them away from their destiny. And because of this, they would rather be alone than be with the wrong person. 9.1. The truth about relationships for chosen ones. Before, you may have ignored the warning signs, settled for people who did not match your energy, tried to force relationships that were not meant for you. But now, you have outgrown those patterns. Now, you wait for divine connections instead of chasing temporary love. Trust that the right person will align with your path. Know that being alone is better than being in the wrong relationship. And because of this, most people cannot access you romantically. Not because something is wrong with you, but because God is protecting you from relationships that would block your destiny. And when the right person comes, you will know. Until then, you continue focusing on your purpose. Reason number 10. You are being protected from betrayal. Before, you may have had friends who turned on you, relationships that ended in heartbreak, people who pretended to care, only to disappear when you needed them most. But now, God is removing the wrong people before they have the chance to betray you. You may feel isolated, but in reality, you are being protected. 10.1. Why God removes people from your life. Some people are jealous of you. Some people want to benefit from your success. Some people pretend to support you but secretly want to see you fail. And if God left them in your life, they would hold you back. They would drain your energy. They would betray you when you least expect it. So instead, God removes them before they have the chance to do damage. It may feel painful now, but one day you will look back and thank God for every person He took out of your life, because you will realize they were never meant to go where you are going. Reason number 11. You are being prepared for something greater. Right now, you may feel like you don't belong anywhere. You are stuck in a season of waiting. You are unsure of what comes next. But here's what you need to understand. This season of isolation is part of your preparation. God is not punishing you. He is getting you ready. 11.1. How this season is preparing you. Before stepping into your purpose, you must first learn to be self-sufficient. Strengthen your relationship with God. Build resilience so nothing can shake you. That is why you are alone. Not because you are unworthy, but because you are being prepared. The friendships, relationships, and opportunities you desire, they will come when you are truly ready. And when they do, you will understand why this season of solitude was necessary. Reason number 12. Your intuition keeps you from fake connections. Before, you may have ignored your gut feelings. Before, you may have given people too many chances. Before, you may have let the wrong people stay in your life too long. But now, you have learned to trust your intuition. And because of that, you no longer entertain fake friendships and forced relationships. 12.1. How intuition separates chosen ones from the crowd. Most people ignore their intuition because they want to believe the best in people. They don't want to be alone. They convince themselves that they are overthinking. But chosen ones, they know their intuition is a divine gift. Now, when something feels off, you listen. Now, when someone's energy doesn't match yours, you walk away. Now, when you sense someone is not genuine, you trust yourself and keep your distance. And because of this, you avoid fake friendships before they even begin. You are alone, not because something is wrong with you, but because your discernment is keeping you from unnecessary pain. And that is a blessing. Reason number 13. Your love is too pure for this world. The way you love, it is rare, it is real, it is deep. But the problem, most people are not ready for that kind of love. 13.1 Why chosen ones struggle to find love. Most people are used to shallow relationships, conditional love, temporary connections. But as a chosen one, you love differently. You love fully. You love with depth, loyalty, and purity. And because of that, you cannot settle for just anyone. 13.2 The importance of waiting for the right love. Before, you may have given your love too easily, ignored the signs when someone was not right for you, settled for relationships that drained you. But now, you have learned the power of waiting, because you now understand your love is a gift. Not everyone deserves it. The right person will never make you question your worth. Real love does not require you to lower your standards. And that is why you are alone. Not because you are unlovable, but because your heart is being protected for the right one. And when the right person arrives, you will know. Reason number 14. You know lonhg or cext or nal validation. Most people spend their lives searching for approval from others, validation from society, acceptance from the crowd. But chosen ones, they do not need validation from the world, because they know their worth comes from within. Their identity is rooted in something greater. They do not need people's approval to fulfill their purpose. And because of this, they naturally become outcasts. 14.1 How seeking approval keeps people trapped. Many people stay in the wrong relationships because they don't want to be alone. They fear rejection. They want to be accepted. But a chosen one, they have learned to stand alone. They no longer change themselves to fit in, stay in friendships out of obligation, lower their standards just to be liked. And because they no longer need approval, they naturally repel people who still seek validation from the world. But this is not a loss. It is freedom. Reason number 15. Your purpose requires total focus. The truth is, not everyone can handle the weight of your purpose. The bigger your calling, the greater your need for focus, discipline, unwavering commitment, and relationships. They can either support your purpose or distract you from it. 15.1 How distractions keep many people stuck. Many people never fulfill their calling because they are surrounded by people who drain them. They are too focused on relationships that go nowhere. They never take time to be alone and hear God's voice. But chosen ones, they are being set apart so they can focus. Right now, you may feel like you have no one to talk to. You are walking this journey alone. You don't understand why you keep losing people. But the truth is, God is giving you the space to focus, because the assignment on your life is too big to be distracted by meaningless connections. Reason number 16. You are becoming too strong to be controlled. There are two types of people in this world. One, those who need others to tell them what to do. Two, those who follow their own path with confidence. And chosen ones, they do not follow the crowd. They think for themselves. They cannot be easily manipulated. And because of this, the world pushes them into isolation. 16.1 Why society fears people who think for themselves. Most systems want people to conform without questioning, follow without thinking, stay distracted so they never realize their true power. But a chosen one, they break free from the illusion. They see how the world tries to control people, how most people are asleep to their true potential, how fear is used to keep people stuck, and because they refuse to be controlled, they are rejected by society. But this is a blessing, because those who walk alone are the ones who change the world. Reason number 17. Your presence exposes pupils turuis selfies. Most people live wearing masks. They hide behind fake confidence, superficial happiness, pretend relationships. But when a chosen one enters their life, their masks start to fall. Because chosen ones see people for who they truly are, bring truth into every situation, make people confront their own darkness. And because of this, many people cannot handle their presence. 17.1 Why some people distance themselves from chosen ones. The moment a chosen one enters a room, the energy shifts. The truth is exposed. People can no longer pretend. And for those who are not ready to face themselves, they distance themselves. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your presence forces them to be real. And most people are not ready for that level of truth. That is why chosen ones often walk alone. Reason number 18. You are being saved for something greater. Right now, it may feel like no one understands you. No one stays in your life. No one truly sees your worth. But here's what you must understand. You are not alone because you are forgotten. You are alone because you are being saved for something greater. 18.1 The blessing of being set apart. Before stepping into their destiny, chosen ones go through a season of isolation where they lose connections that no longer serve them. They are tested in ways others are not. They feel like everything is falling apart, but in reality,